Happy Wednesday to you. Um, Wednesday of Holy Week. It's noon. And thank you for joining me live. Welcome to Reflections. I'm your host, Chris Jensen. And it's another beautiful day in Sacramento, albeit chilly. It's sunny, but chilly. I'm sure it'll be nice when it warms up. So we're almost through Holy Week. Tonight, the cathedral is offering a tenebrae service at 7 o'clock. It's really a beautiful service. We've done it many years. And then tomorrow is Holy Thursday, and there's no Mass during the day. Mass is at night, the Mass of the Last Supper. And so I'll take a look and see what we're going to look at as far as readings and reflections go. It is the end of Lent, which is the end of my commitment to doing daily reflections. I'm thinking about going to weekly reflections. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So anyway, let's take a look at today's reading. And let's just pop on over. This is the Betrayal of Jesus 2.0. And what I mean by that is that yesterday we read about this exact same scene as told by John. And now it's being told by Matthew. It's a little different, but it's got the same themes in it. One of the 12, who was called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" They paid him 30 pieces of silver. And from that time on, he looked for an opportunity to hand him over. We know that Judas was a thief. We've heard that before. He was stealing money from the bag of money used to help out the poor. That seems to be his motivation. So, anyway, on the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the disciples approached Jesus and said, "Where do you want us to prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and tell him, 'The teacher says, my appointed time draws near. In your house I shall celebrate the Passover with my disciples.'" There are clues here as to where this might have been. We know that after the Last Supper, Jesus and his disciples went out into the Mount of Olives. We know that Bethany is close to the Mount of Olives, and we know that Mary, Martha, and Lazarus lived in Bethany. Was this in Bethany? I don't know, but it could have been. When it was evening, he reclined at table with the 12. And while they were eating, he said, "Amen, I say to you, one of you will betray me." Deeply distressed at this, they began to say to him, one after another, "Surely it is not I, Lord." He said in reply, "He who has dipped his hand into the dish with me is the one who will betray me. The Son of Man indeed goes as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that man if he had never been born." So, I often reflect on Judas's role in the Passion of Christ and the role he played in getting the sacrifice of the cross to happen. And yet, it says here, it would be better for that man if he had never been born. Woe to him. Yes, this has to happen, but woe to him through who it happens. Then Judas, his betrayer, said in reply, "Surely it is not I, Rabbi." He answered, "You have said so." They were all saying that, "Surely it is not I," right? So it would have been out of character to not say anything. But there's a difference. Up above it says that they were saying, "Surely it is not I, Lord." And the word Lord has the meaning of God behind it. And Judas says, surely it is not I, Rabbi, which is teacher. So I have to wonder how well Judas actually knew Jesus, and how did he understand who Jesus was? What was going on in Judas's mind? I have to ask myself, how do I see Jesus? Is he my Lord, or is he my Rabbi? Or is he both? Personally, I think he's both. And it's sort of ironic here that Jesus knew who was going to betray him, but the other 11 disciples didn't have a clue, not a clue, and yet they've lived together for 3 years. I'm guessing they didn't even know each other very well. So, there's lots to chew on here. But for me, this is really calling me to a deeper understanding of my relationship with God in the Holy Trinity. What's my relationship with Jesus? How do I stand with him? And I think that's going to be my takeaway from this. Where am I at with Jesus? As I prepare myself for these coming days, the Triduum begins tomorrow night, right? Then we wake up and it's Good Friday. And so I start preparing for Good Friday service. We'll be doing lots of singing. So tonight we're singing Tenebrae. Tomorrow we'll be singing for the Mass of the Last Supper. And I'll be singing a lot for Good Friday. It's easy to get lost in the doingness of things and forget the person that I'm doing it for. So that'll be my reflection for myself, to make sure that I don't lose sight of who I'm doing things for and why I'm doing them. What's the whole point of it? So there you go. Short and sweet. All right, you guys. Thanks again. You can always cook on over to my YouTube channel to catch any reflections you may have missed, if that's of interest to you. It's all archived there. And tomorrow I'll count everything up and we'll see how many I've done. I think it's around 50 or so. Yeah, it's pretty wild, huh? In any event, until we meet again, which will be tomorrow, and maybe in the morning. I don't know. I've got my brown bag lunch program. It ends at 9. So I may try for an earlier time, but noon seems to be pretty good for me. In any event, I'll catch you all later. I'll see you tomorrow. And until then, be happy, healthy, safe, and God bless.